Hello guys, in this video I am going to show what are all books I used in the first year MBBS. In first year MBBS we have three subjects mainly. First, anatomy, physiology and biochemistry. In the anatomy we start from embryology. In human embryology I used Singh's book. In human embryology, it contains the first week development and second week development of the baby and third week development and the embryonic period of the development, and also it contains the placenta development, yolk sac development, and it gives system by system development. Um, Body cavity, respiratory system development, cardiovascular system development, and urogenital system, nervous system, and also it contains development of eye, ear. Every system, every system of the development is given in the Enderbit Singh's Human Embryology book. For anatomy, it contains 4 volumes. First volume for upper limb and thorax. In upper limb, it gives nerve supply, blood supply, and muscle attachment. What are all bones attached in the upper limb? And for example, in upper limb, it contains arm, axilla, and forearm, hand, and joints in the upper limb, and joints in the elbow joint and a wrist joint. And also in thorax it contains the bone and joints in the thorax, for example vertebrae and ribs and wall of the thorax and the lungs, and it contains the thoracic cavity and pleura and mediastinum especially, and finally pericardium, heart, and the aorta and superior vena cava and pulmonary and trachea, esophagus, and thoracic duct, and finally it contains the surface marking and radiological anatomy of the thorax also. In the second value, for lower limb and abdomen, sorry because I tear the paper. In the lower limb joints, the front thigh and back thigh and popliteal fossa and gluteal region and foot also present, and in the second volume it contains abdomen and pelvis also, and abdominal cavity, peritoneum, and large and small intestine, blood vessels of the gut and the diaphragm. What are all the parts in the abdomen also it given, for example kidney, ureter, spleen, perineum also present, and urinary bladder and urethra also given here, and rectum and anal canal and wall of the pelvis, and also finally it also given the surface marking and radiological anatomy in the second volume. And third volume it contains head and neck book. In head and neck is most useful for your third year because ear and nose, throat, and ophthalmology. In the head and neck it contains the parts, what are parts in the neck, muscle attachment, and what are bones present here, for example scalp, temple and face, parotid region, and structures in the neck, thyroid gland also, and in the cranial cavity in the head, and what are contents in orbit also present, mouth and pharynx also, and nose and paranasal sinus is important in the third year because you have a ENT subject in the third year, and larynx and tongue here also present, eyeball is also for ophthalmology. So you have to study the head and neck thoroughly because if you study head and neck in first year, and then only it will be easy to you in the third year. Okay. And for fourth volume is brain and neuroanatomy. Brain and neuroanatomy also important in the medicine and surgery, and also in the third year, ear, nose, and throat, and ophthalmology, because some what are the nerves, the nerve origin and the supply to the muscle you have to know, then only it will be easy for your further years. Okay. And coming to the physiology, I most prefer book is J.K. Paul for medical physiology. It contains 2 volumes, volume 1 and volume 2. In the volume 1 it gives basic physiology system only. For example, in the volume 1, it contains a general physiology and blood and immunity. It also given system by system and nerves and muscles also. And for autonomic nervous system and cardiovascular system and respiratory system and the GIT system. For the second volume, it starts from the renal physiology. Okay. For example, it starts from renal physiology now. So, and also it contains endocrine physiology, reproductive system and neprophysiology and special sense and integrative physiology also. So the medical physiology I used the book is J.K. Paul. Some people are prefer for physiologies, Guyton and all. This book is most useful for you because you can understand the concept wise in physiology if you study in this Guyton and all. If you study in the GK part, it contains more content. You can easily understand, but you have write like a story what you understand in the book. Okay. And the next one is for biochemistry. I used Vasudevan. Vasudevan is the one of the standard book for biochemistry. You can use this in this biochemistry. Um, it starts from the basic only. Subcellular organs, membrane, and amino acid and protein enzymes also in use. And chemistry of the carbohydrate is important in the first year, and chemistry of the lipids and metabolism, general metabolism. It includes for overview of metabolism and metabolic pathway of glucose and regulation of blood glucose, insulin, diabetes mellitus, and metabolism of fatty acid and cholesterol and lipoproteins, and cardiovascular disease and biomarkers of cardiovascular disease, and for polyunsaturated fatty acid prostaglandins, and it contains aliphatic amino acid metabolism, aromatic amino acid metabolism, inborn errors of metabolism, citric acid cycle is important, citric acid cycle metabolism, and hemoglobin metabolism also, and clinical and applied biochemistry also, liver function test, kidney function test, and acid base balance, water balance, and a free radical is important. And you can, if you study free radicals, it's more easy to you. And nutrition, it contains fat soluble vitamins, water soluble vitamins, and energy metabolism and nutrition. And molecular biology, it contains a DNA, RNA, transcription and translation, inheritance, mutations also. And coming to the advanced biochemistry, you have immunobiochemistry and biochemistry of AIDS and HIV and biochemistry of the cancer. That's it. The most preferred book is Vasudevan. You can also use Rafi, but most of people not refer that book. Finally, for biochemistry, Vasudevan, and for physiology, you can use Guyton and Hall or J.K. Paul book. Okay, and for anatomy, contain 4 volumes. Volume 4 is brain and neuroanatomy, volume 3 is head and neck, and volume 2 is lower limb and abdomen, and volume 1 is upper limb and thorax. The author is BD, that means BD Chaurasia. The standard book of the Indian medical curriculum is BD Chaurasia. You can use Atlas also. And for finally the embryology in anatomy, you use Inderbis Singh's Human Anatomy. Thank you for watching.